Now let's learn about prototype property inside a constructor. So let's read over here. It says prototype is a special property on every object. All right, we got that. Now let's read further. Properties, methods or values, whatever they are, attached to the prototype property get inherited to every instance of the constructor. All right, it's too wordy, but digest that information and then I'll show you a demo. So over here, I'll just go to my code and we're going to actually write a prototype property of this particular function. So I'm going to say car dot prototype dot get age, and I'm going to set it to a function like such. And actually I have coded this example over here. So age, or I should say get age, doesn't matter, is equal to a function and it returns from the current date to the year when the car was made. So whatever that is. So I'm going to basically write this. I'm going to say return new date dot get full year minus this dot year, like such. So that's going to give us the year, how many years the car, how old the car is. So get age is going to give us that. So now just to demonstrate it to you, I'm going to refresh and my car is over here. It has set miles. It doesn't have get age. It doesn't show prototype over here. All right. So that's one thing I just want to share with you. And then over here, I can do console.log and I can say car1 dot get age and I can run that method. All right, and you might be saying, hey, should I not be writing car1 dot prototype dot get age? Isn't that right? But well, that's the demonstration for. So I'm going to save, refresh, and it says 2 over here. So it calculated the age correctly. Now, going back to the definition over here, it says that properties, methods, or values attached to the prototype property of the constructor, because the prototype property is of the constructor. This is the constructor prototype property. This is a method. So anything attached to the prototype property, whether it be get age or whatever value, I can do car dot prototype dot whatever is equal to awesome, gets available to every instance that is created from that constructor. So I created this car1, I create car2, I create car3. I'm going to make that right now car2, and I'm going to just call it, let's say, Hyundai Sonata. And let's say that's a year 2000, doesn't matter, right? So I'm going to save, refresh, and I'm going to say car2 is set over here, but I'm going to do car2 dot whatever. I get awesome over here. If I do car2 dot, let's say, what was it? Get age. It's gonna say 18 because it's 2018 minus 2000. So any property attached to the prototype property of the constructor gets inherited automatically to every instance which is created. So one question you may be asking me, why use the prototype object? Why not just use these methods over here? Why not set it inside over here versus magically inheriting it through the prototype property? And that's a great question if you asked it. Okay. And that is an interview question, and I will give you the response. And the response is there's a slight difference. What's happening over here is that whenever you put certain things in the prototype property, and you create a new instance, it actually, whenever you use it like such, whenever you create this new object, the prototype property doesn't get replicated. You don't get a new, it doesn't create a new property on this new instance. But when you set it like such, it is actually making a duplicate. It makes a copy of this, whatever properties, and makes a copy 100 times, or whenever you make, let's say, 100 instances of the car constructor, it's going to make 100 copies of all of this, 100 copies of this particular set miles. So Set miles is very generic. We do not need to make a replica of that particular function 100 times. If we set the set miles on the prototype, we only get one copy. Make sense? We only get one copy of set miles if we set it on the prototype. So get age only has one copy in the data in the JavaScript engine. But over here, set miles is exactly generic. It's very generic. It actually has two copies, one copy for car 1, one copy for car 2. And that's actually a bad use case over here. We should not have it like such. We should actually have it in the prototype. So I can say car dot prototype dot, I'll just copy this, copy all of this, paste it over here, uncomment its code. And this is the right way of using it, because now when we make 100 cars, it's not going to make a copy of this 100 times. It will just actually refer to one instance, which is attached to the prototype. So now if I actually save, refresh, and I want to set the miles, I'll do car1 dot set miles is equal to, let's say, 30,000 this time. And I do car1 now. You see the miles are set. If I want to change the miles, I can do it one more time. Car1, let's just do it for car2. Car2 dot set miles. And I want to set this to, let's say, 50,000. I do this and I do car2, hit enter, and the miles are set at 50,000. So the functionality is exactly the same, but the prototype is not, since it's not replicated, it's actually a performance benefit. And that's why values are usually set as, because they are unique for every instance. That's why they're set inside. And prototype are used for methods, because methods are usually the same and they don't need to be replicated. So one last thing that I want to share with you about prototype is, let's say if I simply go over here and Google array filter. You see over here it says array.prototype.filter. Perfect. You have learned about filter for each and so many different methods which are automatically available to us when we create our arrays. They're attached to the prototype property. Similar to how we have just done right now, we attached certain methods to the constructor prototype property, and whenever we create an instance of it, we get it automatically available. Isn't that all coming together for you? JavaScript is not that complicated once you understand it correctly. You can build better applications. You can answer interview questions. Of course, it comes all with practice, but you at least understand the fundamentals from the ground up. So that is pretty much for this video. I'm going to talk to you in the next.